because I'm rich in real life. Then you get stingy with your girl. Oh shit! Oh.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines. We'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, what do we have here? Right, Troy Ave has been caught slipping along with a chef, and as y'all know already, it was a robbery that was staged, and we all kind of knew it, right? At the end of the day, I think if you know anything about the streets, body language, it was kind of common sense that what we seen wasn't real. And not only that, the number one question I had was, even if it was real, why would somebody go as far as putting that video out? For what? Right? Street credibility? Or for what reason would you put out a video that could have only came from you on social media? Unless you had something to prove. Now, to me, Troy Ave, I haven't been too fond of him ever since I seen him show up to court with a bulletproof vest on. Right? I don't know what he thought he was doing or if it was cool, but the man had a bulletproof vest on while going to court. Now, if y'all remember, him and Taxstone, they was going back and forth with each other because Troy Ave was, I guess, the aggressor in the situation that occurred on 2016 where somebody was shot and unalive, in which happened to be one of his affiliates. Now here's the thing, Troy Ave and Taxstone, they had a beef for a long time. You know, at first it was just social media, but them both being from Brooklyn, talking how they talk, it got aggressive. When they finally seen each other at Irving Plaza, it basically went down. But the problem is, it didn't go down as Troy Ave would think. Now Troy Ave himself, it said that in the reports of the court documents, that Troy Ave was the one that initiated the whole altercation that happened. Taxstone was there minding his business. Troy Ave came in with his guys, spotted Taxstone, and he admitted that he smiled and gave his friend, aka Banger, rest in peace, the nudge and told him, go get him. Problem is, when he went to go get him, Taxstone wasn't lacking. He had a weapon on him, allegedly, and he shot. As an end result, he lost his life, and Taxstone is now doing 35 years behind bars, all because of one person who decided he wanted to be tough. Now the crazy part about all this is, after everything went down, when it was time for trial, Troy Ave cooperated against Taxstone and took the stand. So the 35 years that Taxstone ended up getting, he played a major part in. And then right after that, you know what he did? He came home and started making songs and saying that the streets are a myth. Can you believe that? And he actually had people on his side saying, yeah, the streets is a myth. He's right. And here's the thing, right? Yes, I believe the streets is a myth. But the problem is, don't let the streets be a myth after you get caught cooperating on somebody when your whole career is based on you not liking snitches and selling drugs, right? Was the streets a myth before or after you decided to cooperate? So that's one of the things I never liked about Troy Ave. He did make a couple good songs, and you know, he's an okay artist, but when you do things like that, as well as bringing kids into thinking that selling drugs and committing crimes is cool, and then you want to switch and say the streets is a myth after you cooperate over a situation that you help agitate, I can't get jiggy with it. Now, we're going to talk about the video that's been going viral lately of this supposed robbery that took place. Now, I don't know if it's him or the chef that thought this was a good idea to try and, I guess, get some clout off or go viral on Instagram, whereas people would say, oh, Troy Ave stands on business, but perhaps TMZ would say that it was all one big sham. Now, they did an article covering the whole situation at first, and then they made an update saying, quote, TMZ's learned the whole shootout video ended up being nothing but a fake, with sources in direct contact with the guy telling us no live rounds were fired, and law enforcement confirming there were no reports of a shooting or attempted robbery. Now, the chef that Troy Ave was with, who allegedly got robbed in the video, who was dancing all around, he actually posted a video to his Instagram story, I guess, of the police searching the area. I guess he's trying to indicate that it did happen and that's the reason they was there. Check this out. Now, TMZ got no reason to lie. They said it's fake and there was no reports of a shooting or attempted robbery. Then why would they lie on you out of all people? Then when you watch the video, like I told y'all before, something just doesn't make sense. Their body language looks a little off. They look like they're expecting something. Not to mention, he was already clutching for his weapon before the robber even came and took anything. And what's a coincidence that he had something that they wanted in his hand as they came out the vehicle. One user on social media would say, quote, man, at Taxstone really locked up behind an N-word on the internet, faking out a shootout to gain street credibility after he said the streets was a myth. Be safe though, free to go. And he has a point. Y'all see, he basically faking a staged robbery after telling you the streets is a myth, but he's doing this to be accepted by the streets. You see, the contradiction is crazy. Another user would say, quote, the appeal for Taxstone is going to be an open and shut case. And I've been saying this for a long time. I hope he files for an appeal because once they see how this man has been carrying on and realize that he's also possessing another firearm, having a firearm around him, still shooting at or shooting people, it's something they may take into consideration. But speaking of Taxstone, he had something to say in reaction to everything that transpired in the staged robbery as well. He would say, quote, y'all believe anything these primates post on the internet? Negro had his girl participate in the fake million cash coming home. Fake ad real estate purchases. Y'all have to understand artificial degeneracy when you see it. Now, if you don't know what he's referring to the $1 million that Troy Ave supposed that he got from his girlfriend when he came back home, and stating that she basically held it down and had some money waiting for him when he came back. And who knows? I don't know if it was $1 million. Maybe Taxstone knows something we don't know. It is what it is. The problem these days with social media is everybody want to be somebody just because. Everybody want to have this reputation of being the toughest, the most littest, the most richest. Until situations present themselves where they actually have to be that, we see that they come up short every time. Now, as far as this whole situation with Troy Ave, at this point, we know that it was staged. TMZ even said it was staged. They said they got in contact with law enforcement. If any shots just so happened to go off, trust me, police would have been notified some way, somehow, even if they had a suspect or not. And if he said rest in peace to him, at the end of the day, that definitely would have been all over the news. Somebody shot and unalive during a robbery, but they said it was none at all. So, who knows? Y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. I'm out.